Good afternoon from Julia Carroll. Today is Wednesday, July 29th. I did a video earlier and posted it, so this is sort of a secondary video because something happened today that makes me think about the 75-day soft challenge that I kind of want to do for myself. And, the month of August is going to be using the rebounder or using 10 minutes on my treadmill, walking the dog for 10 minutes as exercise, just to break up some of what's happening, the compulsive binge eating and the, not great habits I have. So I got off work and I decided I was going to do the dishes and take my clothes that I had cleaned, washed, dried, and took them upstairs and put them away. And then I cleaned 2 of my 4 cat boxes because I ran out of cat litter, so I couldn't change all of them. And I did straighten up the kitchen a little bit and used like a Clorox wipe on my bathroom just to clean it up and stuff. And what's really interesting? I discovered something when it comes to procrastination, at least for me, and it might be similar for other people, is the very real fact that when you go from being kind of lazy, I'm very lazy, and I think human beings, by and large, mostly are lazy. There's no other way to say it. I think we have moments of brilliance, but as a whole, a species, we're pretty lazy. Procrastination is a big thing. Slothfulness is a big thing, and it's a big thing for me. I'm struggling with that right now. And I kind of realized, because of my procrastination and my slothfulness, where I don't really like doing dishes, I don't like putting finishing my laundry, folding it, putting it away. I don't like changing the cat boxes as regularly as I should. I don't like housekeeping. Part of the problem I've discovered, and it was sort of abundantly clear to me today as I was doing some of these things to be more proactive and productive, was the very realization that, physically speaking, my body does not have the endurance, strength, physical strength, stamina to do what I'm asking it to do. In addition to, the rebounder, I did 15 minutes on the rebounder, a 10-minute walk, and 10 minutes on my treadmill earlier. My body just does not have the stamina to do all of that. And it's really, it was squawking at me because I took a shower after all this, and I was tired even after the shower. So I kind of realized when it comes to these, 75-day challenges, I think they're great and I'm going to do it. But I also, need to have grace for myself that, and anybody who's listening to this, the very real fact is, we procrastinate. I procrastinate for a very specific reason. And one of them might well be my physical body has been so deconditioned that having it do more is so physically taxing that I don't want to do more, so I don't do more. And that is sort of a blow to realize, because there does come a point when, vanity kicks in there, and, I recognize I'm 54 years old, and I weigh 275 pounds, so I'm morbidly obese. So just the very fact of, as sad as it is, doing dishes, folding my clothes, taking them upstairs, putting them away, cleaning 2 cat boxes, taking the old litter downstairs and throwing it in the garbage can, putting new litter in, and then followed up by a shower, was physically taxing, in addition to some exercise. And it seems like, in my mind, that shouldn't be taxing. It's just normal household things that you have to do as an adult when you have animals and you live life, and, but it was physically taxing. And that could be why I'm kind of a procrastinator, is because doing anything above and beyond the condition level I've conditioned my body to anticipate makes it kind of freak out a little bit. So I have to give myself grace. And I would tell anybody who's watching this, maybe, especially if you're middle-aged, overweight, give yourself grace. You might find this 75-day challenge is kind of complicated because you're asking your body to do what it normally doesn't do. And there's a learning curve in that. The body just sometimes gets so accustomed to where you have it that then doing something above and beyond that, even a little bit, even as much as, getting up after work and doing dishes, can be like, okay, the body is a little tired. I don't put my dishes in the dishwasher to wash them. I wash dishes by hand. So standing at the sink, and then depending on how many dishes are in the sink, it's not a long process by any means, but when you don't want to do it, and that process can be physically taxing. That's all I'm saying. So I found myself kind of thinking I have to be graceful to myself to realize that, I'm in for some uncomfortableness for certainly the next 31 days through all of August, when I do the Rebounder Challenge, to use that every single day for 31 days. And then followed up with doing things like trying to keep the house better, specifically things like, doing the dishes, making sure my laundry's finished, that kind of stuff, sweeping, because my dog tends to shed. She's a corgi and she tends to shed a lot, and there's always hair that could be swept up. But it's just the realization that my physical body is accustomed to doing what I'm asking it to do. And now I'm asking it to do a lot more physically. And there's going to be a learning curve in that. You wouldn't think that would have to be a big announcement, but my brain was like, oh, it was hard today. And I didn't really want to do it. I was tired after doing those few things. And I found myself feeling bad about myself because it was physically taxing. And that is the one thing I can't do. I cannot allow the little devil that sits on my shoulder to lambaste me for, stamina issues, when that little devil on my shoulder has been, telling me, sit down, sit on the couch, enjoy, rest, you're tired, and now it's upset that I'm actually getting up and doing something when it's, now he complains, well, you're tired. You can't do that. What's wrong with you that you can't do it? And he's like encouraging me to sit down and not do anything. And then he lambasts me when I do it. That's what the devil does. He lies, kills, and steals. That's all he ever does. There's no truth in the devil and his minions whatsoever. So, the devil lambasts me when I sit on the couch because he's like, you're lazy. You shouldn't be sitting on your butt all the time. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And then when I actually get up to start doing stuff, he's like, look how stupid and tired you are from doing that little bit there. What's wrong with you? It's like, dude, man. You're encouraging me to be lazy, and then you lambaste me for being lazy, and then you discourage me from being productive, and then you lambaste me when I, am productive, or to not be productive. It's like, I should just ignore the devil because he's not telling the truth. So I thought I would just make that, a little video along with our physical bodies get very accustomed to what we ask them to do. And have grace for yourself. Have grace for myself during this 31-day Rebounder Challenge, plus potentially doing a 75-day soft challenge. Have grace for myself because I'm asking my body to do what I haven't asked it to do in a long time. And it's sort of squawking at me. I mean, it was yelling at me earlier, very distinctly yelling at me with, "What are you doing? This is crazy." I'm like feeling a little like I'm going to pass out, and I'm like, okay, I need to lay down because I'm a little, loopy, because it was physically taxing. And I'm ashamed at how taxing normal housework was, but it was. So I just thought I'd record that. These videos are like a video diary for myself, since I'd love to record things writing them down, but I have trouble with that. I have kept a diary for years, but I'm sporadic with it at best. So I thought I'd share my thoughts about procrastination and grace in changing habits to reflect a new character. It's not done without some fits and starts. So I'm going to give myself grace, and I would encourage anybody listening, give yourself grace. Take care from Julia Carroll. Bye-bye.